In 1968, Iranian oil was flowing through an Israeli pipeline. Mossad agents were training the Shah's secret police. Israeli experts were building Iranian farms, and flights connected Tel Aviv to Tehran every week. Iran and Israel were allies, not just allies, partners, friends. Today, they are trying to destroy each other. This is the story of the most dramatic betrayal in modern history, and it starts with a handshake. In 1950, Iran became the second Muslim country in the world to recognize Israel, right after Turkey. It wasn't love, it was strategy. Both countries were non-Arab. Both were surrounded by hostile Arab neighbors. Both feared the Soviet Union, and both needed a friend. Israel's first prime minister, David Ben-Gurion, had a theory. He called it the Periphery Doctrine. If your neighbors are your enemies, make friends with the neighbors of your neighbors. Iran, Turkey, Ethiopia. A ring of non-Arab allies around the Arab world. And Iran was the most important one. Under the Shah, the alliance grew fast. Iran became Israel's biggest oil supplier. At some point, 60% of Israel's oil came from Iran. They built a secret pipeline together, the Eilat-Ashkelon Pipeline. Iranian oil flowed through Israeli territory to reach Europe, bypassing the Suez Canal entirely. It was worth billions. But the partnership went much deeper than oil. Israeli Mossad agents helped create Savak, the Shah's feared secret police. Israeli agents trained Savak officers in interrogation techniques, in surveillance, in counterintelligence. The same Savak that would arrest, torture, and kill thousands of Iranians. Israel knew exactly what Savak was doing, and it didn't care. Israeli companies operated all over Iran: agriculture, construction, technology, aviation. In some years, Iran was one of Israel's biggest export markets. Iranian students studied at Israeli universities. Israeli engineers worked on Iranian farms. The two countries even had a secret weapons project, Project Flower, a joint program to develop advanced missiles. Israeli technology, Iranian money. On the surface, the Shah kept his distance. He criticized Israel publicly after 1967. He supported the Palestinian cause in speeches. But behind closed doors, the partnership never stopped. For nearly 30 years, Iran and Israel were the Middle East's best-kept secret. Then, in February 1979, everything changed. In a single week, the Shah fell. Ayatollah Khomeini took power, and one of the first things he did was walk to the Israeli embassy in Tehran. He shut it down and handed it to the Palestinian Liberation Organization. Yasser Arafat raised the Palestinian flag where the Star of David once flew. Khomeini's words were clear. Israel is the enemy of Islam. Israel is the little Satan, and it must be destroyed. In one stroke, 30 years of alliance were erased. But here's what nobody expected. Even after the revolution, the two countries kept dealing with each other in secret. In 1980, Saddam Hussein invaded Iran. Iran was isolated. No country would sell it weapons, except one, Israel. Israel became one of Iran's biggest secret arms suppliers during the Iran-Iraq War. Spare parts, ammunition, weapons, all shipped through back channels. Israeli military instructors even helped train Iranian forces. Why would Israel help a country that called for its destruction? Because Iraq was the bigger threat. Saddam Hussein had nuclear ambitions. In 1981, Israel bombed Iraq's nuclear reactor at Osirak. Iran had provided the intelligence. Enemies in public, partners in private. The ultimate hypocrisy on both sides. The secret relationship ended after the war, and the real hatred began. In the 1990s, Iran started building something that terrified Israel, a nuclear program. Iran said it was for energy. Israel said it was for a bomb. And Israel decided it would do anything to stop it. The shadow war began. It was unlike anything the world had ever seen. No armies, no battlefields, no declarations of war. Just assassinations, sabotage, and silence. The first target was Iran's nuclear scientists, the men who knew how to build the bomb. In January 2010, a physicist named Mossad Ali Mohammadi was killed by a motorcycle bomb outside his home in Tehran. In November 2010, 2 more scientists were targeted on the same morning. Motorcycle riders pulled up beside their cars and attached magnetic bombs to the doors. One was killed, the other survived. In July 2011, another scientist was shot dead in front of his house. In January 2012, another one was killed by a car bomb. At least 5 Iranian nuclear scientists were assassinated between 2010 and 2020. Iran blamed Israel every time. Israel never confirmed, never denied. Then came something even more devastating than bullets: Stuxnet, a computer virus unlike anything ever created, designed jointly by Israel and the United States. It didn't steal data, it didn't spy, it destroyed physical equipment. The virus infiltrated Iran's uranium enrichment facility at Natanz. It targeted the centrifuges, the machines that spin uranium into weapons-grade material. Stuxnet made the centrifuges spin out of control, too fast, then too slow. The machines tore themselves apart. Nearly 1,000 centrifuges were destroyed, and the Iranians didn't even know why at first. Their screens showed everything was normal, while their machines were being ripped apart from the inside. It was the world's first cyber weapon, and it set Iran's nuclear program back years. But Iran didn't just sit and take it. Iran built its own weapon, not a bomb, something more patient. A ring of armed groups surrounding Israel on every border. Hezbollah in Lebanon to the north, over 150,000 rockets aimed at Israeli cities. Hamas in Gaza to the south, tunnels, rockets, suicide attacks. Islamic Jihad in the West Bank, the Houthis in Yemen, capable of launching missiles and drones thousands of kilometers away, and Shia militias in Iraq and Syria, all funded by Iran, all trained by Iran, all loyal to Iran. Israel called it an existential threat. Iran called it the axis of resistance. For decades, the two countries fought each other through these groups without ever firing at each other directly. Other people's wars, other people's blood. Then came October 8th, 2023. Hamas launched the deadliest attack on Israel in its history. 1,200 people were killed in a single day. Civilians, families, children. 250 hostages were taken. Israel blamed Hamas for enabling the attack. The world changed overnight. Israel launched a devastating war in Gaza, then turned its attention north. In September 2024, Israel decapitated Hezbollah. Its leader, Hassan Nasrallah, was killed in a massive airstrike in Beirut. The man who had led Hezbollah for 32 years, gone in seconds. Iran's most powerful proxy, destroyed. Then on April 1st, 2024, Israel bombed Iran's consulate in Damascus. Multiple senior Iranian generals were killed. For the first time ever, Iran responded directly. On April 13th, 2024, Iran launched over 300 drones and missiles toward Israel. It was the first direct Iranian attack on Israeli soil in history. Most were intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome, Arrow, and David Sling systems, with help from the United States, Britain, France, and even Jordan. Israel struck back days later, targeting Iran's air defenses, destroying nearly all of Iran's Russian-supplied S-300 missile systems, leaving Iran exposed. In October 2024, Iran struck again. Israel retaliated again. Each round bigger than the last, each round more dangerous. The proxy war was over. This was now face to face. In June 2025, Israel launched the 12-day war.
a massive surprise attack on Iranian nuclear facilities, military bases, leadership targets, research centers. Iran fired missiles at Israeli cities almost every night. The United States joined the fight on June 21st. American bombs hit Iran's most fortified nuclear sites, Fordo, Natanz, Isfahan. Sites buried deep underground that only American bunker bursters could reach. A ceasefire was announced on June 24th, but nothing was resolved. Iran's nuclear program was damaged, but not destroyed. Iran's government was weakened, but not gone. Both sides claimed victory. Neither was telling the truth. Then came February 28, 2026. The United States and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury,
the largest military operation in the Middle East since the invasion of Iraq. Massive strikes across Iran, military bases, government buildings, intelligence headquarters. Supreme leader Ali Khamenei was killed, the most significant assassination since Osama bin Laden. Iran's response was immediate and devastating. Missiles toward Tel Aviv, missiles toward U.S. bases across the region, drone swarms over the Persian Gulf, attacks on Gulf state allies, Saudi Arabia, UAE, Qatar, and then Iran played its ultimate card. It closed the Strait of Hormuz, 20% of the world's oil, shut off overnight. The war that had been building for 45 years had finally arrived. And as missiles flew between Tehran and Tel Aviv, a strange detail emerged. The Eilat-Ashkelon Pipeline, the one Iran helped build in the 1960s, was still standing, rusting, unused, forgotten, a ghost of a friendship that died in 1979. In 1950, Iran recognized Israel. In 1968, they built a pipeline together. In 1979, Khomeini called Israel the Little Satan. In 2026, they are at war, from secret allies to mortal enemies. The most dramatic reversal in modern geopolitics. And at the heart of it all, the same thing that has driven every chapter of Iran's story: oil, power, and the question of who controls the Middle East. Nobody has the answer, but everyone is paying the price. If this video opened your eyes, subscribe, because this story is far from over. See you next time.